Good morning, everybody. This is Chris around the ATL, and this is Rant of the Day. This is still not the 2 rants that I was going to post earlier this week, but I'm working on those because I have to be sat down for those because I have some documentation to do on those particular ones. But I want to do this one this morning to talk about name calling, and there is no I in team, okay? Now, for those who still believe that calling me a name is going to stop me from talking about sports, stop me from talking facts in regards to sports, you're wrong. You're dead wrong. I think there was a song titled by that long time ago. You're dead wrong, right? Because it's not. It look like a hand grenade. What's going on out here in these streets? If all you can do is call people names, you don't have an argument. You don't have a stake in the show. If all you can do is call people names, everybody can have an opinion. Back it up with some facts. Don't just say something and make it your opinion because of something someone else said, and they're just saying it because someone else also said it out loud. That's not enough, guys. Because every single time push comes to shove, someone asks you, well, to show proof, can you do it? Why are these people standing here when they had the red light? I don't understand people. Pedestrians. I have the red light. I can't go forward. You can walk across the street. Why do you have to wait for the light to turn green for me to... You're jaywalking now. You're breaking the law. Where's the popo? But anyway. Have an opinion based on some facts. Have some integrity and stand up for what you believe in. Why is that so hard? I've never understood that. People say things and they can't back it up, and then get mad when people go behind them and say, well, wait, that's not true. Wait, that's not correct. Wait, that's just false. That's a lie. Why can't people just not lie? I think that's easy, but again, I'm different, I guess. I guess I'm different. So, for example, don't know if anybody's cared to take a look. They're scared, I guess. But I did a video on IMTN Worldwide Radio about development and what it actually means rather than what you think it means. So this morning I saw something. Well, development is JJ getting in the rotation. That's not development. I had to read it a couple of times to be like, what does he mean get in rotation? You mean you believe JJ coming off an injury and being healthy for a whole season is development? That's not development. That's crazy to say that out loud. I'm sorry, it just is. It makes me mad. JJ last year for the 2025 season, for the first time in his career, played 70 plus games of 30 minutes or more per game. It's the first time it's happened. He played 36 games last year. 36. It's not enough. If he plays 70 games a year ago, guess what Jalen Johnson does a year ago? Makes the all-star team. He was 18-10 last year. However many assists. And that was playing with the former top player on the team. They were playing well together, so well that they were 5th in the East. That's a fact. You don't gotta believe me. You can pull up the ESPN schedule of a year ago, and you can go game for game, band for band. That's what the kids say, right? Band for band. You don't gotta believe anything I say, but when I bring up the actual facts, you have to listen to it. Jalen Johnson also, per fact that that former player ain't here no more, gets a few more field goal attempts by default. That's not development, guys. See, development for Jalen Johnson would be playing defense for once. He's never played defense. Athleticism is not defense. Rebounds are not defense. Rebounds are a result of someone missing a shot, you getting the rebound. I know they call it defensive rebounding, but shoot, if he gave us a lot of defensive rebounding in that first round of the playoffs, we might be in the championship this year. He wasn't even really rebounding. He wasn't rebounding like he was as all-star, all-NBA Jalen Johnson was this season, or passing the ball. How many assists was he getting per game? Development is Jalen Johnson being a defender finally. That's development. But what about NAW? NAW, same thing. He wasn't a bad player. He wasn't a gem that anybody found. He was a great player on the bench. That's where his value was. Just like Manu Ginobili was on the bench. Great player. He wasn't a gem to be found. San Antonio said, we need you as the sixth man of this team forever. NAW was shooting the ball 7 times a year ago. He's shooting 15 times a game this past season. Why? Because he started. He wasn't supposed to start. We brought him in to increase the depth of our bench. He was going to come off the bench because Zach was also supposed to be developed and be our second-year starter again at small forward. That didn't translate out, though, did it? We had 2 injuries to Porzingis and Trae Young, so NAW and Okongwu started. They had to start. That's not development. Development would be Dyson Daniels not shooting 19% from 3. He shot 34% last year. Development would be him shooting 38% from 3 this year. That would be development. That's development. That's teaching. That's coaching. That's getting a player better. Aspect of basketball. That's what that is. Whether it be the head coach personally doing it or someone on the staff that he's designated as that person, which I've been asking for years now. What do our coaches on the bench do? Where are their specialties? Where is their speciality? There is none. Because development would be, we learn how to play the pick and roll on defense. We learn how to rotate. I posted yesterday somewhere rotations from the San Antonio Spurs, and I'm like, the Hawks don't ever do that. And the Hawks don't have no excuse this year not to do it if you want to keep using that lame excuse that's never been true. Why can't we rotate? Why can't we switch? We can't switch. We accept the pick every single time. We won't fight through it. So we always give the other team an advantage because we're stupid. Is that what it is? We just can't do it. Other teams don't do what we do on defense. I can prove it where we are in the playoffs right now. I can prove it every single time. We're supposed to have good players on defense, great players on defense, and I'm trying to figure out where they are at. That's development. We can't get back on defense. We can't stop the ball on fast break. I've shown you hours of film. You don't want to watch it, but it's true. I can show it to you. That's development. So I urge you to go watch that particular video on the IMTN Worldwide Radio YouTube channel, as well as the game reviews. I reposted on the Twitter page, if you catch that, game reviews I've done showing you Toronto gave up 86 points in the paint. Who gave up 86 points in the paint? I showed you the first Bulls game we played with Porzingis on the team scoring 27 points. We lost that game by 5 points. Whose fault is that again? I showed you who gave up the most points in that game. I reposted the Bulls game. The second Bulls game, we gave up 152 points. I showed you who gave up the most points in that game. And you never want to say, oh, well, even though Trae Young ain't the one who gave up the most points, and actually he did have a good game, it's still his fault. That's what you do. See, that's ignorance right there now. You can call me names, but facts are facts. You ignore the facts. You don't watch the games, apparently. That's why I break it down shot for shot for you. Maybe you lack the comprehension to see what you see on the screen. I don't know. So I slow it down for you. I give you each shot that the opposing team makes. Sometimes I'll replay it a few times for you when I do a review, just so you can see it yourself. This man right here just stood there and let that man shoot the ball. This man right here didn't block out and let him get the rebound and then put it back up for a score. Several times. This man right here didn't put his hand up. Didn't jump. Wide open three. Shot after shot after shot. And none of you have nothing to say. And you say they played good. And I'm like, you can't say you played good when you give up 25 points in a game. 26 points in a game. 23 points. You can't say that. What are we talking about? Like, literally. I showed you the Luka game. 73 points. Luka didn't score all the points in that game. We lost that game by 5 as well. Clint gave up 25 points in that game. Sadiq Bey gave up 21 points in that game. Jalen Johnson gave up 18 points in that game. In that same game, Trae Young gives up 10 points, but it's his fault. In that first Bulls game I just mentioned, by the way, that we lost by 5, Dre had 21 and 17 in that game, but it's his fault though, right? I didn't even tell you how many points we left on the board from shots he created in all these games I just mentioned. It's a ton. How many times did I mention we lost by what? 5 points, 2 points? Y'all don't believe missed shots matters. I was straight up told missing shots don't matter, Chris. Players hitting shots don't matter, Chris. You're just making it up. Like I don't have the internet and NBA.com and basketball reference and all this stuff. It's right there though. NBA.com has all of it. All of the missed shots. You go to play-by-play and you can literally click on every possession. You can literally click on it and see the missed shots in the fourth quarter by players over and over and over again. Which brings me to my next point. There is no I in team. Luka scored 73 points in that game, but did he score 73 points and that was the final score? Because then the Hawks would have won that game. That's not what happened. The Dallas Mavericks scored 130-something points in that game that we lost by 5. So if Luka scored 73, who scored the other 70-plus points? And why did they? So not only did we not stop Luka, we didn't stop a whole bunch of other players. Explain that. I showed you how the team scored on us, and you still don't have nothing to say. But Luka didn't win that game by himself. He was a huge part of it, though. Michael Jordan hit that last shot in that second championship against the Utah Jazz. What was supposed to be his final shot ever in the NBA, right? False flag. Did Michael Jordan win the game right there by himself? He hit the game-winning shot, but did he win the game by himself? How did they get to that point where that shot mattered? Was he playing defense on all 5 of the Utah Jazz by himself? Rodman wasn't out there? Pippen wasn't out there? Are we sure about that? I can pull up the videotape. Kobe Bryant never won a championship by himself. Did he? Shaq win championships by himself? Dwayne Wade? How many championships does Carmelo Anthony have, by the way? Carmelo lost all those games by himself? 50 lost seasons? He lost 60 games one season in New York. Didn't they? Oh, well, they didn't really lose 60 games, Chris. I mean, with, how things actually work, video games, simulated, they don't really actually mean that. It's just like pretend. And, Carmelo Anthony, they had 5 50-win seasons in a row. And they actually went to the Eastern Conference Finals a couple of times too, Chris. And that's all a lie. What are you talking about? That's what we got to do to make things make sense to you? Make you feel good? Lie? Because that's all a lie. Carmelo Anthony doesn't have an NBA championship. Neither does Damian Lillard or Allen Iverson or Reggie Miller or Patrick Ewing, a whole bunch of guys. Charles Barkley, Sir Charles, dominant in the NBA. He lost all those games by himself. He lost all those finals by himself. Well, the finals he was in, he lost that by himself. Did he? Yes or no? I just want a yes or no. There is no I in team. There's a reason that phrase is a fact. Nobody scores all the points. Nobody gives up all the points. Nobody gets all of the rebounds, block shot steals. Nobody takes all the charges. There are multiple players on the team. And the more players that you have that can do their jobs better than the other, they tend to win more. That's it. And some teams have that one guy who can do a whole lot more for it to matter, aka a win rather than a loss. And the better you are putting better players around that player, you tend to win more. Ask Larry Bird and the Boston Celtics. Ask Magic Johnson and the Los Angeles Lakers. Ask Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Hakeem Olajuwon. Hakeem Olajuwon didn't win 2 NBA Finals by himself. He had a lot of help. Sure, he was a dominant player in the middle. But did he hit all the threes in those series? Did he personally hit all the 3-pointers in that series? Yes or no? Joker won his championship by himself? Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown won that championship by themselves? Yes or no? Dominique Wilkins doesn't have an NBA championship simply because, again, our organization said, you can do this by yourself, Dominique Wilkins. You can score 47 points a game, can't you? Anybody can do that. 55 points a game. Sure, Dominique can do that. Come on, Neek, you can do it. ISO Joe, go on out there, man. You can do this. You don't need no help. Mookie Blaylock, no matter how many steals you get. Tumble, no matter how many blocks you get. Smitty, no matter how many Smitties you do out here. I actually did learn that move back in the day, too, because of him. Because I'm a Hawks fan. I learned to shoot like Dominique and do the Smitty like Smitty back in the day. You do that, but we're going to give you Andrew Lang, or we're going to give you Priest Lardell, we're going to give you Chris Crawford and Adam Keefe and John Concack for a decade, and we're going to just give you these. But Larry Bird and them, yeah, they're going to have better. MJ, they're going to have better. Detroit basketball, just layers of players over there. Just fight for your life, Dominique. Don't matter. No, we're not going to stop Jay Smooth from shooting all these threes. All I had to do is say, you get fined $10,000 for every 3 that you take. Stop it. And go inside. Beat your man to the hole. Post up. That's all they had to do. But nope. Nah, I'm gonna shoot 30% from 3, 28% from 3. I'm gonna just keep shooting this. I can hit this. What did Kevin Garnett say at one time in the interview? Kevin Garnett was perfect for talking about it. He used to pray for Josh Smith to be able to hit a 3, because he knew if he hit one, he would take him the rest of the game. He don't have to worry about him. He don't have to worry about Josh Smith. Kevin Garnett said that. Y'all don't care. 4 and 3. That's all y'all care about. The entertainment. There is no I in team. And all we had to do through all these decades of Atlanta Hawks basketball, 6 decades of it, was put better players around our best players, and the Hawks would have at least 2 NBA championships. And we decided, nope, we're just going to be a 500 career team forever, and we're good with that. Fans, as long as they're entertained at the Omni, at Phillips Arena, at State Farm, or whatever it's going to be 20 years from now, satisfactory. And we're cool with that. Right? Diggable Planets, cool like that. It's cool like that. It's cool like that. We're cool. Check out that video about development on the IMTN Worldwide Radio page. Go check out the game reviews on the IMTN Worldwide Radio page. Watch the Dallas games, the Bulls games, Toronto. I've showed you all these games up close and in living color. You need to watch them, because what you're saying is the exact opposite of what actually happens on the court. It's the exact opposite. It's the exact opposite, y'all. You can't change what happened on the court. You want to. Again, you want it to be one way, but it's the other way. You can't change what actually happens in real life. It doesn't matter how many times you say it. But I can prove it, at least on my side. And I'm willing to do it. Calling me names ain't going to stop me from doing it. It's going to make me bring it up even more. Anyway, guys, let me get out of here. Peace.